Hello, everyone. We are back again, and this is the third part of the videos you have been making. And in case you haven't watched the previous videos, you can go on the suggested videos here. You can be able to see the previous parts. This one is my wife, Marie.
Hi, this is Ernest.
EBM.
In case you didn't know.
Make it easy for people.
Yeah,
because
EBM.
sometimes putting Makulilo there is a very difficult name for others. But remember, that is one among the easiest. Right?
Oh, I always say Makulilo is one of the easiest names out of all of them. People say, oh, it's Hawaiian, but then they see him.
Okay, so the first part we talked about how we met and the green card, get married, and the process of the green card by marriage.
Right.
And then the second part we talked about the interview for green card, things of that nature.
So go back if you haven't seen that.
Yeah, that will be able to help. But this part is a little bit different. It's just like we met, we know each other, got married, and within 30 days after getting married, something like that, because we got married on May 1st, 2010, and June 30th or 31st, whatever.
May 30th.
May 30th, whatever, we flew to Tanzania for 1 month. So, your first time, I don't know, should I call it, in Africa, let's say.
Yeah,
that
it
way,
was. It truly was.
Yeah.
My first time.
Okay, so what was your first impression or your preparation? Like, I remember the first thing, like you say, okay, we are going there, like the first thing we have to take the malaria pill, all other crazy stuff. Like.
I was very concerned because in America, malaria is like this huge thing. And he said, oh, don't worry. And so ended up that...
Did you get malaria?
No, I didn't get malaria. But, I mean, you can. Okay, it's just one of those things. It's considered the common cold in Africa. I mean, people can still die from it. But once they get it, they always have it. It's kind of there. And for us...
It's just like eating cheese here. It's just normal, yeah. I had 2 bites. It's not a big deal.
But for us, it's a big deal. So I would say if you are concerned, just do it. But we didn't, by the time I didn't do it and I didn't get malaria. I did get some mosquito bites, but not a lot. And I was fine. And you use the net, whatever.
Okay, another thing is... so
don't drink the water unless it's boiled.
Yeah. You get typhoid, yeah. I don't... Yeah. Okay, so the other question is, was your first going to Africa? What was your impression of the people after being... Okay, obviously, the first impression when you met me, but the impression like when you were in Africa.
When I was in Africa.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I was really taken because, first of all, you have to know that it's night and day. It's just a different culture entirely. So if you say, oh, this about America, this about Tanzania, whatever, it's just very, very different. And people are so kind. And I think part of it, too, you have to remember is that I'm coming from America. So, and it's obvious that I am white. So it's very obvious that I'm not from Tanzania. And once I speak, it's even more obvious because then I don't have a Tanzanian accent or even a British accent or anything. So people are so interested and they want to talk and they want to ask you questions. And so I was really surprised in a good way. And I thought very welcomed, very, very welcomed.
And one of the, almost was the first or second day after arriving there, when we have breakfast, you saw the kids coming from school. What was your first impression when you saw this?
I will never forget this. Never, ever forget this. They were coming home from school, and these children, they must have been 5, 6, 7 years old. And little boys holding hands and walking home together. And they were so happy. They were holding hands. They were so relaxed, and it was beautiful. Truly beautiful. I'm sure they're normal kids, but they were holding hands and they were going home
and that is one of the things you notice many places in Africa. Okay, yes, we are not rich like in America. America there is poverty, extreme poverty too.
Yeah.
But here, even if people you have maybe 50,000 salary, 50,000 US dollar, 70,000, you are still stressed out.
It's because things are...
Yeah, but in Africa, because you can count on your neighbor, you can count on your relative. So people and you can trust God, like, okay, if these things doesn't work, there is someone above power will be able to guide me that. So there is a little bit less stressful.
The culture is much more religious. Even if you say, for example, you really don't follow all the principles of being a Christian or a Muslim or whatever, people are still super religious. And that permeates the entire culture.
And over there you can be able to talk about religion just with discussion, even someone from the
It's
same.
completely normal.
Can
Like
you talk
talking about the
religion
weather.
with some other people, random people here, who talk about politics randomly in the
It's a
bus?
very not well. You can, but you have to be very careful, right? I mean, everybody
You can be
here.
thrown out of the
Yeah, I
bus.
mean, you have to be so careful. I remember, you know, you just don't know. It's better not to. Unfortunately, I mean, I don't have a problem talking about these things, but this day and age, everybody's offended about something or other. So it's just better not to here, and that's unfortunate unless you have good friends and you can sit down and you know
gotta
you can
have
agree
normal
to disagree or whatever. But in Africa, or at least in Tanzania, I mean, nobody got upset that we differed in opinions. It was more, oh, what is your opinion? Well, my opinion's this. What is yours? There wasn't I'm mad because you don't agree with me, or I'm offended, or you must agree with me. No.
And another thing, we stayed in Dar es Salaam and we stayed in my hometown in Kigoma. What is the difference between the two?
Well, Dar es Salaam's huge. It reminds me of, in the way of busyness, it reminds me of, well, I've never, New York City. I have family from there, so it's extremely busy. But I mean, there's a lot of dirt roads and a lot of people carrying things, and so it's different in that way. But still, very, very busy, and the traffic, forget it. I mean, you could walk faster than you could go by car. But going to Kigoma, where you're from, it's a smaller city, and life is much more slow. And
The best fish you can ever get on this
Right.
planet Earth, right? Say
Daga. Okay, I don't like it, but
the best
they
sardines.
love it. It's
and
sardines.
in Gebuka,
It's
the best
basically like
fish,
the-
yeah.
Gebuka and-
From the deepest lake in Africa, and the second
Lake
in the world.
Tanganyika.
Yes. Okay, so
so yeah. But people still were very, very nice. It you know, and very community oriented. So it really, it just. I remember when we were in Dar, we visited a relative, and their next door neighbor was a widowed woman, and she had a child, and she had nothing, but people were still trying to help her, and you don't see that really here. I mean, people were really, really concerned, and I mean, I see it every now and then where people try to help, but here in the United States, unless you live somewhere like we live in the Midwest, so people now we get that more, where people are much more willing
Different
to
from
help each other.
California or New York,
Yeah,
whatever,
when
those
it's
big
so
ones.
busy and you just life flies like this, then most people aren't even paying attention to their neighbors. So
Okay, maybe if I can ask you the last question because of the time and the other people, whatever, just to give the time to process other things. But if you get open to travel, would you like to travel to visit back to Tanzania or any other African country?
oh, absolutely, I would in a heartbeat. It was incredible. I got to meet his parents. I got to meet some of his relatives. I met schoolmates of him. I got to see where he went to school. No, I didn't get to go see the safaris. There was extenuating circumstances, but next time. And but I remember that I had asked a lot of questions beforehand about food and other things. The one thing I missed as an American was cheese.
Yeah, back in the time 2010, there are not many supermarkets. There was no cheese.
There's milk,
Yeah.
but there was no
But
cheese.
now we have everything is there.
Oh,
so
they're
now
much
you can-
bigger things in the bigger cities. But
Yeah, so-
I would go back and I would, even if you know just a few words, because they'll try. Even
Okay,
if,
can you tell us a few words you know, like if it's Swahili
well,
one?
definitely Mambo. That's basically hey, hi, and what else do you want me to say?
Maybe like just names of the animals you know.
Oh, goodness. Everyone's going to laugh at me because I'm an adult and these are the things that I know. So Twiga is giraffe, and Simba, for the Americans or people who've seen Lion King, Simba, it is really lion. And let's see, Kifaru is a rhinoceros, and monkey is Nyani. And, Chewy is tiger, or it also could be like a leopard, something like that. Kondo is a sheep, and goat is Mbuzi. Lots of Mbuzi running around. And chickens too. Chickens are cuckoo. And that was one thing I loved is that, okay, you know how if you have a cat in America and they're outside cats and then they come home and you're not worried because they know where they live? The chickens do the exact same thing. Now, don't laugh for people who are farmers. I grew up in California in a city. So this was very different to me, that there were chickens that people owned and they were all over the place during the day, but they came home. I know, forgive me for being naive, but so there's chickens everywhere, there's goats everywhere. It was,
What is the crocodile?
it's mamba. So I made a joke, and so some people think it's funny and some others, I said mambo mamba. Hey, because it's
And the,
but
and what is Kobe?
Kobe. Oh, it's it's a frog. No, it's a turtle.
Yes. And what is it
Oh,
called? Yes.
Churda is okay. And I will tell you.
And
Okay,
if you want to display, I mean, you want to yell to Claire, what words do you use? Swahili words.
Pisha. Sasa Evie, do it now.
Yeah, so those are the things. She knows some few things here
Yeah.
and there, and she uses them very well.
And
So,
but the other thing is shkamo.
yeah.
That's the big one. This is I love. This is something that the respecting of elders is. We try to really get our children to understand that that's a really important thing. They have a real beautiful.
And
respect
Benedict
for
has
others.
been there once.
Yes, he got to go. So maybe sometime you'll have him on here and he can talk about it.
Yeah, okay. Thank you, everyone. And we really appreciate.
Don't forget to
for-
subscribe and keep watching all of his videos. They're fantastic. Tell everyone about it. And you too can have a YouTube channel.
Exactly. Thank you, everyone. And I really appreciate you for taking time to be the favorite guest on the show.
I'm so glad I got to be here. Maybe you'll have me again if you like it.
Yeah. If you don't watch them, obviously, that means we don't need to make no more videos.
I know,
But if you like
who
them,
knows?
I can bring her on other topics. And
Put
especially,
it down in the comments.
yeah, if you want what topic we want to share, because there are certain topics maybe it's not. But if you want to, okay, can you talk topic this one with?
Yeah. Maybe there's women things that you want to know about. I'd be happy to share.
Yeah. So thank you, everyone, and we really appreciate. Goodbye.